Hey y'all, so as promised, I'm doing this video, and I'm in my car. Was at the hospital waiting for a patient to do what they're gonna do. So I just wanted to get this done because I did promise that I would do it. And so here it goes. And forgive my hair, y'all. I'm about I don't know, 2 weeks late for my appointment, but I had to get an award from Impact Magazine today. Shout out to Tanisha at Impact for making an impact. Shout out to Audra over at True Story. Shout out to all the people in the room today. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. And I just wanted to say that we quick to get on here and talk about some foolishness, but we are slow to congratulate people who are doing amazing things, and Impact is doing amazing, amazing things. So if y'all don't follow Impact Magazine, please go and follow them, because she is crying out to unsung heroes, and she is awarding unsung heroes, and the sister is just bad, and her energy is absolutely amazing. But to get back on the topic of the reason I said I was going to make the video today, is to talk about a lot of different things as far as African American women are concerned here in the state of Georgia. The first one is about perinatal death in the state of Georgia, and where does it come from, and what this and what that and what that. And please understand, I am speaking not from a perspective of defending medicine, because I got some issues and qualms about the way a lot of things are handled. So please don't think, oh, she just gonna defend other doctors and nurses. Hell no, I'm not. If you know me, you know that that's not my twist, and that's not how I work. I'm gonna tell the truth, and I'm gonna speak it the way it needs to be spoken, period. Okay. As far as it goes, when they say, well, a lot of these things are preventable, well, hell, getting hit by a car is preventable. But let me just break it down. Okay, so essentially, when we look at, and it drives me crazy sometimes, because when we look at the demographic of African American versus white, this versus that, a lot of the statistics are not necessarily about black versus white. They look at socioeconomic, and obviously you all know that there are times where people are so ignorant, they say, okay, well, black is poor. The north side of town is where all the money is, and black is poor. But we forget that our mayors live on the south side of Atlanta, our stars, our rappers live on the south side of Atlanta, our business people live on the south side of Atlanta. Porsche is located on the south side of Atlanta. Yeah, you have ghettos on the south side of Atlanta, but damn it, you got them on the north side too. So let's not get confused about exactly what we're talking about. Are we talking about socioeconomics, or are we talking about color? Okay, so I think there's a combination of both of them involved. So let's look at the socioeconomic, meaning how much money you have. Okay, obviously there's issues a lot of times when people don't have money. They can't eat the way that they need to eat. They can't drink as much water as they need. They can't remain in safe and clean environments. So if they can't do those things, then it goes to say that obviously they're not going to have the safest pregnancy. If you don't have the safest or the best pregnancy, then yes, you may have some outcomes. You're not going to the doctor as much, or if you are going to doctors, unfortunately you can only afford to go to doctors that may not be as skilled, or paying attention, or they may have a very heavy patient load. So things are getting missed. A lot of times too, practices that have a lot of doctors, they go in, oh, she's 28 weeks, okay, give her sugar test, okay, you got any problems, okay, let me teach you how to tell you, well, I don't even know if the other practices do this, but in my practice, let me teach you fetal kick counts to let you know when your baby's moving enough or not, blah 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 blah, on and on and on. Sometimes at other practices where another 10, 12, whatever doctors may have been in the patient's chart, this particular doctor is busy this day, they're rushed, they got 30 people on their schedule, and so they didn't look back at the note last week that said, hey, her blood pressure was a little bit elevated, double check it this week and see if we need to start her on blood pressure medicine. Okay, so things like that. Yes, those things need to be addressed. They need to be checked. We need to be paying more careful attention, but patience. And if you don't hear anything, you need to hear this. You need to be engaged in your care. Okay, because we're going to get to the color part of it. Okay. But this goes for across the board. Excuse me, it's cold in here. This goes for across the board. Please be engaged in your care, and not just this doctor did this and this doctor did that and and I ain't like the way they know. when somebody says to you, you're supposed to gain 1.1 pounds a week, which is about 44 pounds for the whole pregnancy. Okay, you know what that means? That means that you need to eat healthy. You don't need to be a vegan. You don't need to turn into a tree hugger. Have some salmon, have some chicken, have some rice. Stay out of American Deli. Stay out of Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry, this might be a public service announcement for some of y'all. It ain't healthy. And ain't no bones in the building. I'm questioning Chick-fil-A anyway. And you can write and comment whatever you want. And yes, it does taste good, but I'm suspect. But anyway, so the point is that you have to, it's just like if you put 87 gas into a Mercedes, how far are you going? For y'all who ain't ever driven a Mercedes, not far. Okay, we're going to tear up the whole engine, not far. So your body is the same way. You have to put the proper fuel in it for it to do what you're growing a whole human being inside of you. You drink juice, you drink soda, you drink coffee, you barely drink any water, you're eating fast food, you're eating a couple of meals a day, you're not really eating, you're eating those hot, tacky, keto, I don't know what the hell it is, Dorito, foolishness. And then you come in with a body that has been poorly fueled for 9 months, and you wanted to do an amazing thing. You wanted to shut its own bleeding off, which it's designed to do, but your vehicle is malfunctioning, whether you realize it or not. You wanted to do all these amazing things and walk out without any complications. And then when you have one, it's the fault of the doctor or the nurse. I ain't with it. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Let me be very clear. Okay. But at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for you. You have to be responsible for the things that you can be responsible for. It is your body. It is your baby. You cannot just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, y'all better save my life and my baby life or I'm suing. So that's that part. Now, let's talk about the whole black this and black that. And I'm sorry, y'all might not like what I'm about to say, and I don't really care, okay? Because I work with women all day long. 90% of them African American, okay? And you might not like what you're going to hear, but you're going to hear it, okay? Now, yes, I do believe that there are situations in which, and I experienced it with one of my own patients, okay, where there are situations in which black women are categorized, black women are treated a particular kind of way. In the hospital, let's start with the hospital. In the hospital, that they're treated a particular kind of way. Their pain scale is not listened to or respected as much as other people because it's, is she a drug addict? Is she this? Is she that? Is she seeking pain meds? Is she gonna get WIC? It's just a whole bunch of foolishness, okay? Because I know one of our local stars, and I don't say stars like Love and Hip Hop, shout out to Love and Hip Hop, but I mean like actual, like on TV with a whole actual career as an actor, delivered at Emory, and there was a whole big thing, fill out your WIC paperwork, and she's like, I don't want WIC. I don't need WIC. What are you talking about? And she was very taken aback and she was very put off. And I can understand it because I would have been annoyed as hell. And she would have got dragged if it was me. But, and that's not always the way to handle everything. So forgive me. But, there is a stigma. There's always going to be a stigma. I hate to say it, but it just is. Okay. People are ignorant, just like you, because somebody's educated, because somebody has a degree, does not make them a good person. Okay, you have at that KKK rally in Charlottesville, you think you didn't have any professionals? You think you didn't have any doctors, lawyers, judges, engineers? You think dentists? You think none of those were there? You think they were all, most of them were, but you think they were all toothless rednecks, trailer park rednecks? No. Absolutely not. So yes, there is a thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care what the situation is. Just like you act as an advocate for your children when they get bullied, just like you act as an advocate for yourself and human resources when your boss is trying not to give you time, and you got these days off on the books, you need to act like an advocate when it comes to your health care. But don't start when you walk in the front door when you go to deliver a baby. You start when you get that positive pregnancy test. That's when you start. But yes, you need to act as an advocate for yourself. I had a patient, and Love her to death. She's still my patient. Sweet as apple pie. She's sweet as a person could get, I promise, and I love her to pieces. And I guess she has a particular stereotypical look of, whatever they would say. Now, this person is fully insured. Okay, fully insured. Ain't no Medicaid popping off. She has commercial private insurance. She came in, she delivered a baby. She didn't even have an epidural. She kept saying, Dr. Rogers, my back is hurting, my back is hurting, my back. She did have an epidural, I'm sorry. My back is hurting. I'm like, I'm like, okay, well, let's pull the epidural. Let's give you a little ibuprofen, see, a little Toradol, see, what the deal is. She's like, Doc, my back. And I'm like, okay, well, baby went kind of quick. It was second baby. Let's give her a little Percocet, see what's going on. So unbeknownst to me, I didn't know anything was going on. I call my patients on the phone because I know what nurses will tell me, but I call my patients to be like, what is going on? How are you being treated? Is anything, you're upset about anything? I check on my patients, okay? And so she was all upset about something. I was like, I'm en route. So I came. She got pain medicine. She wanted more pain medicine. The pain wasn't going away. And so they had already pegged her as a drug user. And then she was drug seeking. I said, I know this patient. This is the second baby. She might smoke a little weed, but she ain't no drug user. Okay? So if she says it's pain, something's going on. I called the anesthesiologist. I'm like, go and assess her. Go and take a look. See what you think. Tell me what you think. And at one point, I was even like, well, damn, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, if you keep having this pain, I can't find it, and you're telling me that this pain is there, you need a CAT scan. We have to figure out what's going on. Now, first of all, on so many levels, that would not, sorry y'all, I am turning the air conditioner off because I'm freezing. On so many levels, that would have never happened. She would have been pegged a drug addict if she had a provider who didn't listen to her or didn't respect her, and then she would have been discharged out. So the charge nurse got involved, the chief nursing officer got involved. I got everybody involved, because what you're not gonna do is not find a problem, overlook a problem, have me liable for some foolishness because you want to regard this patient as a drug addict because that's how you see her. Why? Because she got a lace front on. Why? Because she got some lashes on. Why? Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to treat her with the same respect as anybody else, because guess what? Miss whoever Steen with her Medicaid card right here, my patient is fully insured with her whole lace front, and we're going to give everybody the same respect up in here. And so for me, like I said, I listen to mine. So come to find out, the nurses were so busy doing doctoring that you didn't even talk to her. You didn't assess her. You didn't ask her when her last bowel movement was. You didn't ask anything. After we got a full assessment going, we took care of the patient. She had a huge bowel movement. She's like, oh, the pain is gone. I feel great. She was constipated. But had you done your part, instead of pegging her a drug addict, you would have been able to assess that, figure that out, and treat the patient. So a lot of that happens when it comes to prejudices and personalities and how somebody looks and what they have, and and it's ignorance. It is sheer ignorance. Okay? Now, is that always the case? No, that's not always the case. Okay? Are there medical mistakes that happen sometimes? Yes, there are generally fail-safes in place. But things happen, meaning, this system won't let you do this if you don't do this, but there's an override in case there's an emergency, or blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I do not believe anyway, that people are setting out to purposefully hurt African American women. Okay? When it comes to your doctors, and I'm sorry, here's the part that y'all not going to like. Some black women think white people's ice is colder. Now, you'd be surprised at how many people will go up to the north side of town, North Side Hospital, be with groups where there are 10 doctors, 8 midwives, 5 nurse practitioners. Shout out to those practices. And you ain't going to see the same person, and you ain't going to know who's going to deliver your baby. And it is what it is. They'll go. They don't make a peep. They sit in the waiting room. They wait for hours on end to see those doctors. They get borderline care. The doctors are typing on their computers, never even looking at the patient to see if they're bleeding from their damn eyes. Never even looking. Okay? They deal with that kind of, and it's cool. You have a complication, yeah, because nobody respected you from the beginning. You didn't get respect from the beginning. I don't know if it was because of your color. I don't know if it was because of the mentality. I don't know. But what I do know is you walk into my practice where you get concierge service, you nut up after you've been sitting in the waiting room for 10 minutes. You don't want to pay your copay. You don't want to pay the balance on your account. And to the person who put online something about me abandoning somebody, yeah, that was like totally untrue. And so I get sick of, as a professional, we have to let you guys abuse us. So my attorney will be contacting you for defamation of character. Anyway, I get sick of it. Like this whole internet thing, y'all do too much. Y'all don't get what y'all want. You know, y'all not allowed to disrespect or nut up or be ignorant in my office because I kick you out the practice. Then you go online and put all this crazy stuff online because nobody wants to break the law with y'all. Ain't nobody got time for all of that. So we're gonna get this dealt with. I bet y'all to think twice again about what you say online. Anyway, so the point is that you need to be going to practices where people are going to listen to you and respect you. I don't care what color the doctor is, because you got some black doctors that ain't going to listen. And then you have some white doctors that will. It's not about color. It is about, do you have an energy with their doctor? Are they going to care about what you're saying? If you call and say, doc, you know, I don't know what's going on, but I just don't feel right. Something ain't right. Are they going to shrug you off, or are they going to say, you know what, come on in. Let me assess you. Let's talk about it some more. Because a lot of times when things are not right within your pregnancy, you feel it, mom. That is women's intuition. And it doesn't start once you have the baby, sweetheart. You're a mom. It's growing inside of you. You know when it's not right. Speak up. And if you're at a practice or you're with people who you can't speak up to, then you need to change. Because that is where the problem starts. If your doctor don't respect you, do you think your nurse is? If your doctor don't respect it, do you think their team is? And yes, I'm sorry, you do have some disrespectful ass doctors out here. They don't care. They do not care. They don't care who deliver you. They don't care how your delivery goes. They don't damn it care. Get the baby out. Let's send the sheet to billing. Let's rock and roll to the next. They don't care. So when you find a doctor that cares, and you find somebody who's going to listen to you, and you find somebody who's going to take care of you, how about this? Respect that. Respect that. And rock with that. When you find somebody who's going to say you're gaining too much weight, are you not drinking water? What are you eating? What are you put? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me tell you ultimately what's going to happen, because some of y'all too, when y'all hear the truth, y'all get mad and be like, oh, I'm going to another practice. Deuces. I don't care. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take 100% responsibility for you and your baby. But I can't do that when you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. When you're in the streets nutting up. When you don't have a number 1 for breakfast, number 2 for lunch, and number 3 for dinner. No, that's not how we do things. That's not how we maintain a healthy pregnancy, a healthy body, which breeds a healthy baby and a healthy mommy. So, yes, there's a lot of responsibility for the patient because of what's happening out here. Also, say, why in Georgia? Why here versus every other state? I'm sorry, insurance is awful here. I feel so bad for the patients sometimes because, you know, you got this deductible thing and it is awful. Other states don't have it. Up north, they don't have that. They pay $50, they go to the doctor and everything is covered. And half of them won't even go with bumping insurance. Down here, you got to pay $115 to see me. You got a $50,000, $5,000 deductible. You can't, your insurance don't kick in until after $5,000 and blah, 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 blah. So people don't come for care because they don't have the money. I get it. Hell, it's like you need a whole second job just to be able to pay the damn doctor. And that's not fair and it's awful. And I got to bill you. I'm sorry. It's against the law if I don't. But the point of the matter is that I get it. I get it. But you know how you deal with that? For all my millennials who say it don't matter, they're going to put in office who they want to put in office. The presidential elections, yeah, that's important. We got to vote. The governor's election, yeah, that's important. We got to vote. You know what's important? Because if I say to any of y'all, who's your congressperson? Who's your state representative? Yeah, because that's the person who's in charge of voting on that abortion bill that they put in, voting on those wages, voting on that insurance, because all of them getting paid by lobbying companies and all of that. Y'all need to be paying attention who you put in office. Vote like your pocketbook. So the bottom line is that find you somebody who's going to listen to you, listen to your concerns, care about you, give you information, educate you. Tell you when you're doing the wrong thing. Help you do the right thing. If you don't have resources, figure out how you're going to get these resources. Talk to your doctors and say, do you know about any particular thing? Okay, I don't have any insurance anymore. I can't get Medicaid. What should I do? Let somebody help you out. Okay, but at the end of the day, you have to act as an advocate for yourself. That's a life in general. When you come into the hospital, you need to say to the nurse, hey, can you look at my pad? Is this too much blood? Should I be bleeding this much? It's your vagina. I mean, nobody's going to stand and stare like, okay, how much blood? No. If you feel like you're bleeding too much, make sure, yes, there are orders that have to be carried out. Yes, the doctor's going to give the nurse orders. Yes, the nurse should be checking certain things. If you haven't seen a nurse in a couple of hours, 3 hours, it's like, ma'am, do I need vital signs? And if there's an issue, complain. Those surveys that they do at the hospital, people get in trouble over those things. When you go online and place reviews with the hospitals, people get in trouble. At the end of your stay, they always say, how was your stay? And people get in trouble when you have bad outcomes or when you have bad reviews or bad experiences. So you have to act as an advocate for yourself, unfortunately. And who said it? I'm not sure who said it. I think Farrakhan said it. Not that I'm a follower of Farrakhan. I ain't got nothing against the brother, but when he said the black woman is the most underprotected species on earth, he was right. And it goes for this too. I'm sorry, it just does. And I wish that we could change it, and I'm working on ways to change it. For me and my practice, what I'm doing is I'm implementing a bunch of different things, even when you come in, as far as starting care with me. When you start care with me, what was your other deliveries like? Did you bleed a lot? Did you have to get a transfusion? Do you remember passing out? Like all of those initial questions to kind of figure out whether you have a history that you don't even know about or that you didn't even pay attention to. I have a patient that says, hey, I had a postpartum hemorrhage the last time. Okay, great. I know. You get an additional bag of medication. I'm going to go slowly with your pit. I'm going to hit you with some medication called Methogen to stop your bleeding once the baby's head is delivered. So because I know your history, I'm going to go above and beyond what is standard medical care to make sure we don't have a bleed. So when you take time and you understand people and you get a history, and you can take better care. So all I can do is say what I'm doing within my practice. But always I say give her an extra bag of medication. I do that standard for my deliveries, and I'm just trying to figure out what else is it that I can do as a provider. If you're a patient in my practice, I don't play about that water. I don't play about that food. You're gonna get up, you're gonna do some cardio, and you ain't gotta do no exercise. Walk. You're going to keep your heart strong for the pregnancy. You're not going to eat a bunch of crap. You're going to drink some water. I don't play no games. If you're a patient in Atlanta, I'm like a drill sergeant. You know why? Because the baby can't do anything for itself. And I make you act as an advocate for yourself through the pregnancy. I make you do it. And then when you come in this hospital, I act as an advocate. I'm not at home laying around. No. I'm on your cell phone. How you doing? When's the last time you saw the nurse? Okay. And then I'll talk to the nurse and I compare stories. If the stories don't line up, I'm locked and loaded and I'm on the labor and delivery floor checking on my patient myself because somebody lying. So I'm not saying that every doctor, to be perfectly honest, my practice is more like a concierge practice. I don't charge for it. I should start, but I don't charge for it. But that's just the passion that I have for what I do and how awful it feels when you have a bad outcome. I don't want that feeling. So I will hustle and I will work hard and I will yell at any nurse I got to yell at and anybody else so that I make sure my patients get great care. I'm not God. I can't prevent every bad outcome. I don't profess to be able to, but anything I can prevent, anything I can put my hands on, oh baby, trust and believe. So find you somebody with that kind of passion. Find you somebody who's willing to protect you. Like I said, you do your part and I'm going to do my part. And God hope and God willing and, God covering us all. And I pray in everything that I do before I go to the OR and everything else. But the point is that, hopefully we'll stay safe, but we have to do some common sense stuff. And also, y'all are quick to go to a hospital based on what you get for free. Or based on the reputation of the hospital. Don't follow the reputation of the hospital. Follow the reputation of your doctor. Okay, because some of y'all, I literally have, college friends who I know their doctors are and they're like, oh yeah, girl, because I'm delivering at such and such with such and such. And I'm like, oh yeah, girl, well, we'll pray for safe entry. And I'm saying to myself, girl, do you really know the truth? So, start looking at your doctors and, not just the hospital and the reputation of the hospital. Because some of the best hospitals, I'm not saying any names, but some of the best hospitals, or some of the best ranked hospitals in the state of Georgia, the overall C-section rate is about 21%. Their C-section rate is about 55%. Right. So anyway, the point is that please be an advocate for yourself. That's the first point. Please take care of yourself during these pregnancies. It matters. It could make the difference of life or death. That's the second point. The third point is find a doctor who is going to listen to you, who is going to care about you, and who is going to advocate for you. Okay? So hopefully this video makes a difference. Drop a line down below. If you have a question on IGTV, I'm also going to post this to my YouTube, guys, and I'll try and do a video a week. I can't commit to it, I have so much going on, but I'm gonna try and do a video a week about some things that I know are plaguing us women about the medical community. Okay, so I gotta